to yet another uneventful stream here from VR Stocks and Beats. And this edition of in this episode, I will be continuing with the struggle that is weight painting. And well, I haven't been exactly lazy. I have spent a number of hours working on this thing, and yeah. I just all I got to say is that I'm terrible at weight painting, and I'm still doing this. So if you guys remember, last time I was weight painting, and I was moving the leg bones forward and backwards, and finally I got to a point where I thought I was feeling comfortable, and I decided to do a little bit of a spread here, and long haul and behold, my weight painting here is absolute garbage. and it's happening here where I ended up having to hide the main dress here, because I was getting some awful bends here, and as you can see, it's still not ideal, but at least that part can be hidden by what will hopefully be a reasonable looking dress here. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm still guessing just why it's distorting in the way that it is right now. And that's okay. That's alright, it's okay. So I'm still trying to figure out how to make this work here. I mean, I know how to make it work, it's just there's too many bones and too many variables pulling the mesh in every direction here. So, and just so everyone catch up to my personal narrative, what I'm trying to do here is, I'm not trying to be a modeler by any means. I'm trying to get this project going back to the VR environment where all the magic happens, but I can't do full body tracking and be happy with the work I'm doing until the weight paint is reasonable, and it's not being reasonable with me right now. And, well, it's just the life of a indie developer, you know, where it just all kind of falls down to whether I want to do the work or not. So there I am, making some changes there to my mesh. And I mean, I was only half joking when I was saying in my previous broadcast that it would only take a couple of months to get the weight paint down on this, and I hate to say I said it because it's been about a week and I'm still weight painting. And I don't know, I mean, rigging is a full-time job. If you ever look into what I think this is pretty much the work of a rigger, you know, where they're weight painting and modeling. Well, actually, here's how it goes. The last time I remember, last time I was in a 3D type environment professionally, it was way back around 2012. And back around then, there was, if you had an animation studio or anything of that sort, then you would have a designated 3D modeler who would be taking care of all the polygons and the geometry and all that stuff. And then you would have a designated rigger. Now, rigging, unlike anyone watching here from the AV industry, a rigger is someone that is doing exactly what I'm doing here, making sure that the UVs and the weight paint is up to standard and with a desired result. You know, you don't want crazy distortions like you're seeing here right now. So if, once again, if you have a professional animation studio, you will have a 3D modeler and you have a 3D rigger. Well, when you're an army of one kind of guy, you gotta do all of it. And just as productivity accumulates, well, you also get an unwanted side effect where work also accumulates. And if you're not a person that, you know, has leverage or a budget to be outsourcing this kind of labor, for whatever reason, you know, some people are stingy, some people are good at this, and some people are like me, who just don't have any other choice, where, you know, due to various reasons beyond my control, I am spending my time at home for weeks at a time. And, you know, past the spiritual and mental struggles, you come to a point where you have a project, or, you know, an activity on top of the money-making activities that you have to make for yourself if you want to retain some kind of sanity, you know. And here I am, weight painting, and I am the self-proclaimed master of Zen, because if you can look at this hideous weight paint graph and not lose your shit and still be a Zen kind of guy, then mission accomplished. And I don't know, watch me weight paint for the next few hours here. This is what I'm doing. And let's see here. So I'm trying to get rid of, see that little poke there? There's a poke. That poke, I have no idea what is influencing that one there. Okay. Alright. So I'm relieving the poke. You know, I'm trying to get rid of this diaper effect here. That's what I'm trying to do here at the moment. Okay. And I'm bringing it back to the center. Alright, so there's it's looking better than before. Let's see here. Looks like we gotta reduce some of the influence here on this particular vertex here. Just enough to make it look like it's covering the hole there. And at this point, I think I have enough geometry for my purposes. I said this last time, and that's, or like about a week ago, I was saying I would not add geometry to the mesh, and then I did. So I mean, nothing's out of the question. And right now, it's not like I'm trying to be lazy. I'm just trying to work with what I got. But if I have to add more geometry, then God knows I will add more geometry. And only God. Okay, so I'm trying to get rid of that diaper effect that I was getting there in the center. And I gotta say, I'm getting something that I'm kind of liking here. I'm getting some progress that I have not achieved in the prior weeks. And let's see here. It's doing some things here. Now that may be pulling a little too hard there, so let's see if I can subtract there from this one here. Make sure it stays in there like that. But it does look kind of crappy. I mean, you know, I'm the first one to know when something looks crappy. Like, I look at this every day. And I've been looking at this damn thing, at this whole project consistently for about almost 2 months now. And if you ever wonder why I'm so slow at putting out like finished production stuff, well, it's because a lot of the process is uneventful, annoying process like this. It's just like 1 step forward and 2 steps back for indefinite amounts of time. And by no means, this is no rocket science. I mean, something that I've noticed when I go live is that you know, everything I say is unscripted, and there's a general guideline, like yes, there's some 3D modeling, and eventually I will get back to developing VR stuff, but until this dress stops looking like a goddamn diaper, I'm gonna keep ranting and doing this. And you know, I do have some sort of goal for the day, or goal for myself to stream regularly, and here I am, kind of, sort of streaming regularly. And is this the stuff I wish I was streaming about? Probably not. My worst critical self is already yelling at me and telling me to move on, and complaining, how come I'm still streaming the same fucking weight painting a week after? Well, I just mentioned the reasons. In a professional animation studio, you have a full-timer doing this. You know, you have a guy full-timing this thing here. And it is what it is. It is what it is. And see, just like that, I have another thing poking there. And I do have a variety of choices to which I could add weight here. And it's not happening yet. So now I'm just playing the game of, there it is. Which bone was doing that? Alright, so I'm getting rid of the diaper effect here a little bit. But is it satisfactory? No, it's not. Not by any means. And I have no one else to blame but myself. I made this thing from scratch. And you know, it's one thing when you do a 3D model and, you know, it looks great without any bones or armatures or weight painting. It's easy to make a great looking 3D model, honestly. Everyone and anyone and their dogs can make a decent 3D model, you know. But if you want to make it functional, you know, if you want to, for example, give it a texture, or if you want to make this dynamic so that it can move freely and in a satisfactory way when you're using it with an armature, then 3D modeling becomes a whole different other beast. And this is without any programming attached. This is solely a 3D mesh without any programming input coming from me, you know. This is by all means a programming product of Blender 2.8 on the Python language, you know, and I'm just a user, an end user within the development workflow, you know. I'm just a user, no better than any other 3D modeler, you know, but a lot worse than many others too. So, and there I am, an amateur indie guy, just trying to weight map this bump out of the crotch area so I can move on to things that I find more interesting, like programming for VR. And if I sound kind of ranty, that's kind of my style. It's kind of my style. I kind of go off on rants. Because let me tell you, 3D weight painting does not make me happy. So the most likely form of verbal communication you're going to get out of me, if I'm doing a live stream, it's going to be angry ranting. And I'm entitled to rant. It's an apolitical type of rant. Nothing to do with the current political spectrum, you know. In a way, it's an escape from the narratives happening outside of my household. But it's still a rant. And is it positive? I don't know. Am I being productive? It's questionable because the progress is so goddamn minuscule, you know? Am I progressing? I have no idea. I'm no better than some monkey just bashing a bunch of keys right now because there's just no progress here. And, you know, whether I'm 100% conscious or under the influence of various narcotics or other substances, here I am living proof that the outcome is still the same. Whether I'm high out of my mind or drunk out of my mind or positive or negative out of my mind, the outcome of my productivity remains the same. And it's somewhere near a goddamn zero. Because I'm struggling and I keep struggling to do this weight paint. And, you know, it's a contradiction of contradictions, just as we've seen many contradictions in today's world, where everything is a contradiction, you know. And I'm just trying to see, it does show that I'm streaming, and you know Facebook sucks when you cannot even find your own stream, you know. Alright, so there it is. So I've been streaming for 16 minutes, and I'm just gonna make a quick comment here. Still weight painting. Now let's see. And the reason I am speaking a whole lot of nonsense is because I'm trying to make a legitimate channel on YouTube. And you cannot have a legitimate monetizable channel on YouTube if you're playing someone else's music. For some reason, everything and anything is usable on the internet and can be monetized except for music. The good old vampires at all of those old school record labels have a monopoly on the freedom of music. And we cannot freely share music on any platform because you run the risk of being demonetized, muted, or flat out censored. So there you go. There I am, filling up dead space with an indie guy kind of rant. And that's totally fine. I am committing to my goals of streaming and I'm doing the dance here for myself. Why not? And that being said, I do want to thank my algorithm for paying attention to every word I say. And once again, there I am. There it is with those freaking... Come on, baby. Can you be normal for like 20 seconds? Alright, so that looks normal. Alright, I'm getting rid of all the undesired pointy things here. Let's see here. It looks like that one there. What does it need? Does it need more or less influence? You know, I'm like... If I wanted to make a tail in this girl, I would have made a tail already. And maybe that's what it's missing. I wouldn't mind giving this girl a tail. Maybe a tail wouldn't be a bad idea. I have no idea. Anyways, so I'm kind of satisfied with the weight painting I've done up to this point. Is it completely symmetrical? No. Let's see here. Okay, so that's my progress so far, and I gotta say it's not the worst. It's really not too shabby there. Here we have my avatar in a compromising angle. you know, a compromising rotation of bones, and I gotta say that it's not too shabby as far as the number of undesired behavior that I need to fix here. So let me see what else I can do here. So again, I am getting those freaking things here. Okay, those are gone. That's still okay. Now let's see what happens if can I try and subtract a little bit here from this side. Yeah, I totally can. Well, but that's making it worse. That's fine. We don't want influence of the right side bone on the left side of the dress. That's a big no-no. Anyway, so now we're gonna go ahead here and see if by adding a little bit of weight, if we can get rid of some of this undesired effect here of the bleeding over. Okay, so it looks like I will be adding some geometry after all. Let's see here. Okay, so now I'm getting the diaper effect, but it's not possible to undo the diaper effect unless I add more geometry, and I'm tired of adding more geometry. And I'm sure that's not how they do things at Tesla, and I'm sure that's why Tesla is a multi-billion-dollar company now, right? But I'm just one guy, not in my parents' basement, you know, not in my parents' basement, I repeat. But I'm just one guy with only so much discerning criticism of self, you know. And it looks like I will be adding more geometry because I'm just a dumbass like that. Okay. Or I may just stick with the diaper effect. Maybe that's not the worst thing that could happen to me right now. Maybe I want the diaper effect. Who am I to tell what's best for me? You know, that's one of the things I've learned about life. I don't know what's best for me. I'm not even close. I have no idea what's good for me or what's the best thing I could be doing. Alright, so here we are. And it's behaving weirdly. There it is. So I'm just gonna say right now, maybe I do want the diaper effect on my mesh. Give me all the diaper you can give me. Give it to me. Oh my god, man. Alright, so it looks like I do want to add a little bit of geometry there because it wants to stretch one way or the other, but not both. So I'm gonna add some geometry right there. Oh. No, that's not what I want to do. Like, it gets rid of the wrinkle, but that's not what I want because it's gonna start moving weirdly. We're gonna entirely remove its influence from this side, and we're gonna add it to this side. So here I go again. I'm gonna add more polygons. Add more polygons to the crotch area because this is just ridiculous. So here I am, selecting all the faces that I think need more polygons. All of these need more polygons. I need more polygons. So I've selected them, and now I'm gonna go into edit view, and I'm gonna add geometry here in more ways than one. So let me quickly jump into object mode and hide the body. Go back here, go back to edit mode and add more geometry. And Is it depressing? Well, yes, in a way it's very depressing, but you know, depressing within the realms of my own personal productivity. You know, I am once again a victim of the suffering of discipline, where all the suffering is being caused by my own discipline to continue forward with this project, rather than the latter, discipline, suffering by regretting not doing anything at all. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. Okay, so there it is, triangles once again. Before we do that, let's go ahead and let's see if we can subdivide. Alright, so we did some subdivision there. That's a lot of subdivision. And we should be doing the same thing on this side. And we're going to subdivide here as well. All of this, we're going to subdivide it and do some corrections. Just a moment here. Oh man. Okay, so let's undo a bunch of that so I can keep track of exactly what I did. Okay. And I gotta say, face palming feels great. It's one of the best feelings of life. If you're not face palming every day, you're not living to your full potential. That's all I got to say. Alright, so let's see. Let's try that one more time. So we're in the process of subdividing the crotch area. And this is all the trouble area I was getting before. And I'm also getting some troubles up here, so I want to be able to subdivide this bit here as well. So let's go ahead and see what happens when I subdivide all of this. So I'm being picky with where I'm at in, polygons, because that's the way I was taught. You want to keep the level of polygons in your mesh to a minimum. Now, in a traditional 3D animation agency setting, you usually didn't have to worry so much about this, because I can give you any number of examples of any video game you're playing right now. How many animations does your avatar currently have? 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 animations. That's all you get. So when these animation studios are, doing the polygon count and this stuff, they're like, okay, does it look good in the 5 animations we need it for? Okay, great. We don't need to add any more, flexibility to this mesh because it's already doing everything we want it to do. And that's why so much AAA games, your avatar only has 3 or 4 animations tops. And that's been the trend in 3D animation studios. Unless you're in like Pixar and all of those AAA animation studios where your 3D model may be wanting to do more than run, squat, and jump, right? So here I am, fighting the good fight with a unique approach to 3D modeling. Again, I'm not unique in any way, but it's a different approach. It's a new approach that's coming out of the indie community and VR chat community and the anime community, where we want more control of our avatars. We want more dynamic posing and, in a way, more depth to our characters than the simple shoot, jump, throw grenade type of thing. You know? So, in a way, this is where I'm putting the good fight, you know? Putting on a good fight. So anyways, I'm still subdividing this thing. Subdivide. Yeah, and I think here I definitely want to subdivide some more, so we're gonna subdivide it again. And this better be solved all my wet body painting issues for once and for all. Is it messy? Is it unprofessional? Well, you're goddamn right it is. But I gotta tell you, I've been to more than a few, I can tell you. AAA, top production type settings or studios, and more often than not. And the incredible level of improvisation that goes into those environments would blow your mind. There is a lot of improvisation in the entertainment world. Even at AAA, even in AAA environments, you're seeing a lot of makeshift, make-believe, poor 3D modeling practices, at least, or any. Let me tell you, I'm in no way bashing the AAA production environment. I'm just saying I've worked in more than a few. And I gotta tell you, the level of improvisation and sometimes sketchiness, it's always there. So, you know, I feel no shame in improvising some geometry here, because improvisation is in some ways an accepted business practice within the realms of entertainment and virtual production. Let me tell you that much. I have seen improvisation at every level. I have seen improvisation sometimes in places where it shouldn't be improvised, where, you know, I mean, I hate to say, throw around the term video wall, but let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, 9 video walls out of 10 video walls were either made or have unsafe practices. And this is in AAA production stuff, you know. I'm not bashing. Again, I'm grateful for having been part of AAA productions in the past, and who knows, in the present future, you know, in the near future. I'm just saying, don't bash the indie guy for poor topology and polygon count, because I'm not hurting anyone, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna get a really good stretch out of this. And there's no one else here to tell me that what I'm doing is wrong, because you know, I'm not hurting anyone. I am not hurting anyone, and this is in no way gonna be like affecting the performance in my game engine, you know. So that's kind of how it goes. And That's all I got to say. And again, I really wish I could be playing music on my stream. I got some badass tunes. I mean, the channel is called VR, Stonks and Beats, where I talk about VR, and you see VR. And then I'm trying to talk about stocks more often as well, and that's where the stonks comes from, because it's a play on words, and it can be a little playful, where, you know, stonks can refer to memes or a meme culture type deal. But I'm also referring to the good old-fashioned stocks from the, you know, NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange or the, you know, S&P 500, all this nonsense, you know. And I think at some point in this stream I will be talking about stonks. Why not? But right now I'm all about the VR, or soon to be, because I'm still in the 3D modeling update phase of this. So anyways, I see a vertice there that I definitely don't like. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Alright. So the vertices have been put into position, but there's a lot of faces now that I don't need, and I will have to remake. So we're just gonna work on that now. See, for example, this one here, we need to get rid of that edge right there. And I may have been a little bit overconfident with what I've done here. There may be a little too much subdivision. I wasn't really keeping track of what I was subdividing, and I have a mess in my hands now. And I don't know who else can fix this for me other than myself. And it's not the first time. So maybe I can fill in the dead space here and drop in some poor man's philosophy into your living space there. And here's something that I got to say. There are 6 levels. I mean, not 6 levels. I meant to say mistake. There are 6 types of abundance in this world. Within our existence, within the esoteric realm that I follow, there are 6 types of abundance. So if you ever feel in a rut, if you ever feel like you're just not making enough money, or you feel like you're stuck in a dead-end job, or something just isn't going the right way or the way it should go, well, first of all, there's another story there, but let me tell you about the 6 types of abundance. There are 6 types of abundance. The first type of abundance we all know very well is the one we most usually correlate with abundance, and that one is money. You know, it's not to be dismissed, but I could go on a rant about money, and I probably will after I mention the 6 types of abundance. There are 6 types of abundance. Now, first one is money. And it's all well and good. Okay, and the second type of abundance is called a gift. Now, what's a gift, you may ask? Well, the most common understanding we have, the first one that comes to my mind anyways, of what a gift is. Well, you know, it's at a birthday party and you're turning 13 and you get a brand new Lego set, or you're turning 21 and or you're turning 18 and you're getting a brand new car. Okay, that's a gift. Now, there are other meanings for gift as well. You know, there's, you know, you can be a gifted musician, or you can be a gifted mathematician, or, you know, you can be very good looking. That's a gift. Why not? If you're really good looking, well, that's a gift. All right, so that's the second type of abundance. Well, what's number 3? Well, I think number 3 is communication. You can gain a lot by talking with someone or listening to someone or having someone listen to you. So communication is the 3rd type of abundance. And then there is a 4th. The 4th type of abundance, well, that would be trade. Well, what is a trade? Well, the most common meaning that comes to my mind of a trade is that of work. You know, you're trading your time, and in return you're getting some work experience, some money, and maybe some connections, right? So that's a trade, a perfectly good trade. And back in the old days when people traded, you know, coffee for corn, well, that was a trade as well, and it gave you existence and substance, right? All right, so that's the 4th level of abundance, trade. Okay, and okay, so what's the 5th type? Well, the 5th type of abundance, they say the 5th type of abundance is imagination. Wow, there's something that we never thought would be a type of abundance, because we normally discourage people from being too creative or having too much imagination. You know, it's something that, I don't know, depending on your upbringing, may only be encouraged during your childhood. It's like, oh wow, you're a creative type, good for you, kiddo. Well, it turns out that imagination is the most undervalued, in my opinion, of all 5 types of abundance. You know, and I guess it has to do, and tying it in with, you know, things like, I don't know, I guess, you know, the creative mind, you know. How can you create something if you don't have an imagination, you know? Like, how can you come up with the next great technology bit if you can't imagine it, right? So there's a lot of value to imagination, and so it belongs within the 6 types of abundance. And then you got the last type of abundance, which most of you have not even heard the word. And many are reluctant to, due to belief systems, believe in it or to accept it, and that's completely fine. It's a relatively obscure term, but it is growing in popularity among esoteric groups. But it's a manifestation of life that has always been there, whether you believe in it or not. And this 6th level of abundance is called synchronicity. Now, what is a synchronicity? Well, in layman's terms, in empirical terms, it's a consequence. Not a consequence, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. You ever have a deja vu moment where you felt like something you already lived it before? Well, that's kind of be like a type of synchronicity, where, you know, you may have been thinking about something or someone or some topic or some idea or some dream or some wish, you know, whatever that might be, whatever was in your head, in some way you find it in the physical empirical world. In the physical empirical reality, you see this thing happen, and then you say, wait a minute, I was thinking of just that thing yesterday or the day before, whatever it may be. Well, I got newsflash for you. That is a type of synchronicity. And you know, and it can get really deep down a rabbit hole that most atheists and non-believers and scientists and people with a scientific rational mind may fight and deny of its existence, but it is considered a level or a type of abundance. So take that for what you will. And so those are the 6 types of abundance. money, gift, communication, trade, imagination, and synchronicities. So, the advice continues. And it says, well, if for some reason you start getting a lot of one of these types of abundance, if it stops, well, don't keep looking for it. Keep your eyes open and look for another type of abundance. And that's the best way you can go about it. In some way, it's a basic truth when I say that you don't know what is best for you. Anyways, that's as far as I'm going to take that train of thought. And I want to rant about money. Okay? I said I was going to rant about money. Well, guess what? I'm going to rant about money. So, here's a rant that I share with my parents once in a while, just so I remind them where I stand in the meaning of money. Okay? I am not lying and I am not joking when I say that I have more money than Donald Trump. Donald Trump has filed for bankruptcy at least 7 times. It's been widely reported that Donald Trump owes billions upon billions, and that's just one man. Well, if that's the way, then in that respect, I am more wealthy than Donald Trump, and that is a basic truth. Because I don't owe billions, and I have not gone bankrupt more than 9 times. I have not even gone bankrupt once, even though I considered it for a while. And in the same train of thought, I want to say we are dealing with imaginary numbers. Okay, hear me out. Imaginary numbers is a mathematical term. It's a mathematical term for numbers for which we cannot define their value with traditional and conventional means of arithmetic and mathematics. So there are plenty of imaginary numbers in the realm of mathematics. Most common example being the square root of -2 or something like this. It's like it's imaginary or something. Okay, so in the same way, we have a mysterious type of institution that goes back thousands of years. And this type of institution has the power and the jurisdiction to essentially create money out of thin air. And thus we come to the term of printing money. Well, let me tell you something. Printing money is already an outdated concept. You know why? Because we no longer even print the money. We don't print the money. We're moving towards a cashless society. The term printing money is already archaic. Okay? And that's already succeeding the predecessor of money not being backed by any precious metal or anything other than the promise of some people in some institutions. Okay? So, do you understand where I'm coming with this, with the value of money? Okay, so on the one hand, you have a self-proclaimed billionaire who's gone bankrupt 9 times, and on the other hand, you have someone like me with with some pocket change in the bank account, and I, in a way, have more money than Donald Trump. But in the same way, if that's the truth, I can take that a little bit further and more aggressively and say that I, a simpleton in the outskirts of a suburb somewhere in Canada, I have more money than the entire US economy. You know why? Because let me remind you of something. The US government is trillions upon trillions of debt. Well, let me tell you something, hun. I don't owe trillions of dollars. They do. So in a way, I have more wealth than the entire US economy, and that is a basic truth. And I think with that, I am going to conclude my rant on money. Now, why is it that, even there are other factors of power and things like this, but I am not lying to you. I am not lying to you when I say that I have more money than the entire United States of America. And I hate to break it to you. And that is my rant on money for the day. And I probably will repeat it again because it's withholding the test of time. It's withholding the test of time. And I'm still weight painting here. By the way, I have been no slouch. I've been weight painting for about 2 weeks now. Even when I wasn't streaming, guess what? I was still weight painting. And suffering, the pain, the suffering in discipline. That's the kind of suffering I'm having right now. Pain by discipline. While at the same time committing to my daily goals of streaming every day. And I really wish I could play some music, but I'm streaming on YouTube and Facebook. And Facebook is getting really good also at muting, at the very least muting my stream or anyone's stream if they start hearing copyrighted material. So you're stuck with my raspy voice and my crappy 3D weight painting project. Alright. And I think I will be getting ready here in a second to plug in my phone and take a look at the stocks that I've been following and that I will continue to follow and that I hope to in the near future get my hands on. I gotta tell you, having a watch list of stock is just about as exciting as actually owning it, because you're just waiting for the dip, And yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna keep checking here to make sure I don't have like some faces that go, see, like this one. We want to make sure it's face by face. We don't want any faces that it's weird. See, like that one. We want to get rid of faces that are non-conformant with our new added polygons. Alright, so I think about at 8 p.m. I'm gonna do my stocks report here. Staying true to the name of my channel, VR Stonks and Beats. I'm gonna do my little stocks report in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Stock report coming at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, I'm getting rid of all the annoying little triangles there, but it keeps going to a triangle there, and that is very unfortunate. So, I think what I'm gonna do here, oh man, I'm gonna have to subdivide. And we're gonna have to get rid of some edges here. I should be filling the dead space here. I'm just gonna finish adding some geometry here. Crap. And I feel quite happy with what I've said today. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I feel quite happy with what I've said here today. And I don't know what else I should be talking about other than I'm gonna be doing my stocks report in 3 minutes. Alright, so I can't get rid of all the triangles. I'm gonna make a triangle there right in the center, and hopefully it won't come back and bite me in the ass in 2 days, as triangles usually do. Okay. And I'm just gonna see here that I'm not having dead end vertices. I wanna make sure that they're all linking up to a face. Otherwise it's just gonna get fucky real quick. So like right here, I wanna make sure that the subdivisions here are happening. So right here, we're gonna add some more subdivisions. Okay, so maybe now I better get ready to share my phone because I will be doing a stocks report. So I'm currently looking for the proper equipment to plug my phone. And I think I left it over here. Oh man. Alright, so I'm currently looking for some equipment here. So now the only thing I'm missing is a blue USB cable. This one. I need this cable, and I will need my blue USB cable if I can find it. It's right here. Alright, so once again, to all the audiovisual enthusiasts, I'm gonna give you one of the most incredible secrets of the trade right now for free. If you want to send a video capture device signal to a web encoder and software of your preference, you will most likely run, well, this was back in the day, but it still holds true, to a industry standard of a Magewell capture device. This little box here, this little looking box is $500 after taxes. And what it does is that it will capture your HDMI signal and transform it into data so that your laptop web encoder may be able to read it and show it. So here it is again. It's a Magewell capture device, and today can be yours for a simple low price of $4.99. Anyways, I'm now gonna plug in my phone. Oh, and by the way, here's another cool cable that I've plugged before. This cable is a Usbc to HDMI. Now, how cool is that? So I am in effect, because there is no easy way to send video signal from your phone onto your computer or web encoder, this is the only way to do it. And I'm telling you, and I'm sticking to my guns, this is an industry standard. So there I am, plugging it in, and you gotta make sure when you plug it in, that you plug it in onto a USB 2 port, otherwise it will not have enough juice or data rate bit rate to work successfully. So anyways, I'm gonna unlock my phone here, and I'm gonna open the app where I do much of my stock watching, where I have my watch list. So let's just go ahead here and enable the Maze Wheel on my desktop. Okay, so it looks like I need to refresh it here in OBS. There it is. Okay. Alright, and I think I can make it look bigger, and I can crop it too. Let me see here. Filters, crop is not, okay. So let's, alright, and I'm gonna make it bigger, and I'm gonna do my little stocks report. Because this channel is staying true to the name of the channel. This is VR Stocks and Beats. So here I am showing my watch list on an American app. This is Moo, by the way. So I've been paying close attention here. Wow, look at all that. There's a lot of red here. Apple down 1%. Tesla going on a major dip here. I mean, it's not surprising, honestly. The price target for Tesla, according if you research the price target for the stock of Tesla, you know, experts are saying, someone like Kathy Woods, anyone following Kathy Woods will know that she has a target value for Tesla at around $4,000 for one Tesla share. Now, I mean, so obviously you may there's a lot of bulls holding on to that Tesla stock, but we've also seen quite a bit of a sell-off. And so, and I think everyone saw that Tesla sell-off coming last weekend, and surely enough, it may take months before it starts picking up traction again. In fact, we may not even see Tesla, in my opinion, picking up until after we see the big dip, okay? And if you don't know what the big dips, I'm referring to the next big C word, okay? And here among the trading and the investor community, we don't call it the C word, we call it the big dip. So I myself, I'm waiting for the big dip so I can get Tesla for sale. And let me tell you, my expectations for Tesla stock after the big dip is somewhere around 450, 500 to 600. Now, that doesn't mean that Tesla stock is not gonna go past 1,000 or 4,000, because let me tell you, and this is something. So these are the news and the ideas that are coming out of this Tesla investor community. Tesla is not just a car company. It's not just an electric vehicle company. It's a technology company. It is going to go ahead and continue disrupting industries and developing new products that we never even imagined. You know, there's going to be a push for batteries. We already heard there was a big announcement on Tesla. For 2023, he wants to have a robo-taxi fleet. Okay, so Tesla is definitely one of those stocks that may indeed reach 1,000 to 4,000 in the future. So anyway, so that's my 2 cents on Tesla. Now, what's another company that I seem to be that I have something to say about? Let's take a look at this one. So, Nano Dimension. So what is Nano Dimension, you may ask? Well, the reason I heard about Nano Dimension is because it's one of ARK Invest's top holdings, okay? Well, not one of the top, but within the 51 that they hold, okay? Nano Dimension is a company out of Israel, and they specialize in the production of printing machines. Now, these 3D printing machines are not your typical mom and pop 3D printing machines. These 3D printing machines have the capability of printing circuit boards. You know, so this is an ideal situation for any research and development companies in both the civil and the military sectors, where prototyping circuit boards in a matter of hours, not weeks or months, it can have a lot of benefits to the production of new ideas. So that's where Nano Dimension comes in. If their printers are able to print the plastic base, circuit board, and the silver components and conductors that make up a circuit board. So that's where Nano Dimension is coming in as an innovative, disruptive company. Now, I keep seeing a lot of videos of people saying that this stock is gonna go 10 times up or whatever. And partly, I have to say, I am aware that I am getting an algorithm that feeds me whatever the hell I want. So if it sees me Googling NNDM 5 times a day, it's gonna send me NNDM videos on YouTube. It's just a fact of life. So anyways, is it gonna go up 10 times? I have no idea, but there is some buzz about this. So can you imagine? By all means, think about this. This is in terms of investment, and I want to make a comparison here. If you have $100, okay, if you've never gotten your feet wet in the stock market and you have $100, you know, imagine putting those same $100 in the lottery. Chances are you're not gonna lose the $100 you put into this if you do your research and look into companies that are not just some black hole industry, okay? You're more likely to at least get your money back after a few months of seeing any, you know, but at the same time, the risk and the opportunity of making money in the stock market is greater than playing the lottery, especially if you can put in contributing factors like the research that you may put into your stocks, or you know, or keeping an eye open and an ear open in the investor community to see what's a good company and what's not. You know, let me tell you, the stock market made a bunch of simple guys like you and me millionaires. You know, there's stories of people that put $3,000 on Tesla a couple years ago. Guess what they're buying now, you know? So anyway, so you got here an NDM. Now let's see. What's another one interesting? Another one company that really caught my eye today, or for a little while. It has to be Unity, and I think I have it added here. Here, Unity. So Unity had their IPO, their public offering, in November of last year. Okay, and what ended up happening after that is that it just skyrocketed. Okay, so I was completely unaware of the power and leverage that Unity software would have on the stock market. Let me just show you. It went from $85 to $155 in less than 2 months. Okay, it went up 2 times. It was already at $85 and it's already gone up to $155. And the reason I'm not buying right now, and the reason why myself I'm not buying any stock right now, is because everything is at an all-time high. You don't want to buy any stocks when it's at an all-time high. You want to wait for a time like March when you have a big dip. You know, it's a literal big dip where the thing goes dip and then you dip your fingers in there and you buy stock for sale. So I'm waiting for the big dip so I can, for myself, purchase some Unity software. And I guess this is the last company that I'm going to talk about today, because I want to show you more about Unity. For all of you unaware of what Unity is a free-to-use game engine. Okay? it's a and you can develop developers, literally anyone, even enthusiasts, fans, indie, professionals, AAA productions, anyone is and can make applications in virtual reality, augmented reality, gaming consoles or web players. Unity can do it all, and it can connect it all, and it's continued to add more and more features into their products, where you can have greater amount of analytics on your user base. They also provide servers if you have a multiplayer functionality in your application. The only market that I have not seen Unity break into yet is into the AAA film production, where Unreal still rounds prime. But I wouldn't doubt it if the geniuses at Unity were able to get some kind of deal with some film production studio where their technology can also be used. All it takes is one film production to adopt Unity for this thing to be the #1 player in everything reality. XR. The term is XR for AR, VR, MR, Unity. Okay? There are SDKs built for Unity. You can add Google AdSense to your Unity applications. You can add Amazon. Just a couple of weeks ago, Unity made a new SDK, so you can build applications and filters for Snapchat. Okay, Unity is going to be one of the biggest breakers in disruptive technologies in the virtual era that is unfolding right before our eyes. So myself personally, I think I will make some investment into Unity, which I've been using for years, and I guess I know it inside and out, kind of, you know. So anyways, that's where I finished my rant on the stocks today, and I think that's where I'm gonna stop talking about stocks, and we'll see. I think I will be 3D modeling here for a little bit longer. Let me see, I've been streaming now for just about an hour. And okay, let me see. So I was looking here for more faces here. See, so that face doesn't help me. I'm gonna get rid of it. And I need to subdivide some more here, but I'm kind of scared, if anything. But those subdivisions are already there. I don't know what to do here. The correct answer is more subdivision. And I guess that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna add 1, 2. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 more vertices here. Shit. And I've run out of things to say right now. You know, and once again, I want to thank Those few of you that like to leave a like on my videos, I want to thank you guys. And definitely, it's rewarding to know that someone is at least a few are bothering to tune in with me for a few moments with Uncle Emilio, And I also want to thank the algorithm, my algorithm, for paying attention to every word I say, and for giving me constructive feedback in the form of advertising and video suggestions. I want to say that I'm grateful for being acknowledged of my speaking and my existence in general. And yeah. And if you missed my rant on money or my explanation of the 6 levels of abundance, I welcome you to rewind this video and you will get all of it. Otherwise, you can expect me to rant about money in the near future. I guess I can say one more thing, because a person very close to me, my partner in crime in some ways, she has a deep interest in astrology. And according to her astrological studies, a career as a YouTuber will continue to be popular in the decades to come. YouTube is here to stay for the greater part of the century, if you want to believe the astrological community. YouTube is not gonna go anywhere. It's not too late to start a career in YouTube. And that's all I got to say. And I guess I can throw in another motivational spiel, because I gotta keep talking to prevent dead air. So let me tell you about a motivational webinar that I was a part of as an operator sometime in November last year. And they were talking about how you are, what you do every day. And that line, that sentence really stuck with me. You are what you do every day. And it got me thinking in a particular way. And I gotta say, it's been very liberating, because particularly when I find myself thinking negatively of myself or who I am or anything around my surroundings, anything negative, I have a simple caveat, a simple exit clause, a short circuit, a path of least resistance to avoid that train of thought, where I simply tell myself inside my mind, and I say, I am not what I think of myself. And I've concluded that that is, in fact, an empirical truth. I am not what I think of myself. Just in the same way that reality is not what I think of it either. The empirical reality is something completely foreign to me. It is something that will completely remain foreign to me, for it is an empirical reality, something outside of me, something that I many ways will never fathom and understand. I am not what I think of myself, and reality is not what I think of it either. And in the same way, I am not what you think of me either. And you are not what I think of you. The empirical truth, the empirical reality is something completely foreign to us as individuals with varying degrees of ego. And that is a basic truth. So, going back to the rant, or the thing I was saying, so if I am not what I say, if I am not what I think, well, according to this pseudo-psychological train of thought, then I am what I do. And it goes a little bit deeper. It's not what I do once in a while. It's not what I did yesterday. It is what I do every day. And I gotta say, I think it's a wonderful philosophy to live by. I am not what I think of myself. I am not what I say I am. I am what I do. And thus, there becomes apparent of my insistence to try and do technical work within the virtual realm every day. And I do try to stream as frequently as possible because I want to be a streamer. So I've been streaming live consistently and most of the time unentertainingly, weight painting, but at least I'm committing to streaming every day, and I am committing to doing technical work every day. And that doesn't mean that once in a while, for periods of time, I get contract work, because let me tell you something about myself. I kind of fell into the niche of being a contract worker, and sometimes it's unionized work, sometimes it's privately facilitated work, and sometimes that contract work does fall in the realm of a virtual production. It's a lot easier to do a virtual production now than back in the day. Pepper Ridge Farms, remember when AV industries and all sorts of industries were fearful of doing virtual events because they were largely likely to go haywire, because let me tell you, technology for the virtual events environment in the near past had a lot of hurdles. Particularly if you were doing virtual events for financial institutions or institutions with large amounts of information or resources of various kinds. Let me tell you, and I think this is information that can be disclosed. Briefly, in my heyday, I was doing virtual events for top financial institutions here in Canada. And I think I can freely say that there are more times than I can count when I was doing some sort of virtual event, at TD headquarters or RBC headquarters, or what else? TD, RBC, CIBC. I did all of them except for Scotiabank. I don't think I ever did a gig for Scotiabank. But let me tell you, I'm no newbie when it comes to virtual events. And now, for whatever reason, I'm not doing as many anymore, but once in a while, I still do virtual events, and it kind of falls within the kind of thing I'm trying to achieve here personally, because the key word is virtual. Now, I am in no way remorseful or regretful that I no longer do virtual events for top corporate entities most of the time. However, I am kind of on the upside here, where I am increasingly getting more contract work to, do work for AAA productions in the vicinity, And I'm not allowed to say which production companies or studios, because there's all sorts of lengthy what do you call them? They're not disclosure agreements. I guess. Non-disclosure agreements is what they're called. So I am upheld by a bunch of those, and I cannot speak freely too much about that, but let me tell you, that's where I kind of make my trade money. That's kind of where I've been, and then, if you listen to the internet, you gotta start looking at ways to diversify your income. And so that's where I'm branching out now, to making my YouTube and my Twitch and the Facebook and all that virtual nonsense. And I'm also, I've joined the investor community. Here's something that I say for myself. It doesn't matter. It does not matter how much money you have in the stocks. As long as you got some, hey, guess what? You're in part of the investor community. Because once you put money in the stock market, you will see your interest change, Suddenly you will have an interest for the stock market unlike you never did before. And in many cases, we will start seeing it as a viable source of a diversified means of passive income. And that's kind of all I got to say about that. And fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I was 27 years old when I was in school. Some 8-9 years ago, one of my teachers approached me and said, "Hey buddy, why don't you buy some Bitcoin?" And what I told the guy, I was like, "Hey, you know what, I'm kind of scared. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my money." And you know what that guy said? He said, "Well, what are you gonna lose? So say you only buy 2 or 3 Bitcoin. Can you imagine buying 2 or 3 Bitcoin now? Back in the day, you could buy, back around 2012, you could buy a Bitcoin somewhere around $300. And what's a Bitcoin worth now? Now it's worth like almost 50 grand. And some estimates are saying that it will go upwards to 100,000. Now there are other people in the other spectrum of this topic, and they will say, no, it's gonna crash again. And guess what? I think it's gonna crash again. We saw it crash last year, and let me tell you, I think we're gonna see it crash again. Let me just check here what the price of Bitcoin is right now. So right now, so yesterday it was around 49,000, almost 50,000, and it just dipped to 47,600. So let me tell you, if I had spent $1,000 to get myself 3 or 4 Bitcoin, I could have around 150 grand right now. And I didn't. Why not? Because I'm a fucking donkey, that's why. Well, that was the first time. Second time, I was still afraid of the stock market, and anyone that followed the stock market within the people that I knew, well, I didn't see their investments go very well, and most of it just didn't appeal to me because I was talking with people that were investing in the stock market, and it just seemed like they had no idea what they were doing. And like, for example, there are people that believe that the wheat stock is gonna make people millionaires. Well, I got news for you. It's still illegal in the United States. It doesn't matter what Canada thinks of weed. If it's illegal in the United States, you're never gonna see weed take off. And let me tell you something. The legalization of the marijuana in the United States does not seem likely. Even with our good old buddy Joe Biden. I'll tell you which stocks are gonna go up, and you're not gonna be happy to hear about it if you have any kind of moral stance. So that's kind of what happened. I never grew up around anyone that was smart for investment in the stock market. And long and behold, the big dip came in March. And Tesla price dropped. And all the naysayers were happy that Tesla's price dropped and everything went to poop. But guess what? Guess where Tesla is now? Tesla's making everyday Joes like you and me millionaires. And here's maybe a little rant that I want to say. Here's a thought, and it's a thought that I shared privately within the confines of my household not too long ago. What if we could move the entire economy from a worker class economy to a type of shareholder economy? Now, hear me out. If it sounds ridiculous, it's because, income in all forms of conventionality, it's fucking ridiculous. You can't have a shareholder economy where everyone's a shareholder, and I'd say, why not? Because here's what's gonna happen. Robotics and automation of labor is happening right now at an incredible rate. If your job is not being done by a robot, and that is whether you're a doctor or some office worker or some number cruncher or Joe Schmo putting bricks on a building, guess what? Your job, a robot will be able to do it 100 times better and faster than you as soon as someone makes a robot, okay? There's no shortage of people wanting to make these kinds of robots. So here's the solution that I want to say. So there's gonna be a massive displacement of the worker class. And let me break it to you. Even if you're making $60, $70, $100,000 for some institution and you don't think you're worker class, I got news for you. You're worker class. And your job is replaceable, and in most instances, especially now, it will be most likely replaced by a robot. So what are you gonna do with all of these displaced people? So you got, members of Congress like Andrew Yang saying things like, okay, well, we worry that self-driving trucks are gonna displace the transport and the truck driving employees, and he's got a valid point. I mean, I got news for you. If you're an Uber driver right now, you're gonna be competing against Tesla's robo-taxi by 2023. And let me tell you, Tesla, first of all, everyone's gonna wanna be in a Tesla robo-taxi because it's gonna be way cooler than your average Joe's 2018 Toyota Corolla Uber car. Okay, the cool factor is gonna be there, and all the Tesla fanboys in Wall Street bets are gonna be massing and dumping massive amounts of money to the Tesla stock again, because they're gonna see that the robo-taxi is coming and other disruptive technologies are coming. Okay, so I'm saying autonomous driving is just around the corner. So you can say goodbye to all of those taxi drivers and all the Uber drivers and all the delivery drivers. Guess what? They're gonna be replaced in a matter of years by a self-driving robot. Now you can get angry and bash a bunch of them, which I'm sure is gonna happen. And the solution that I'm trying to put in the ether out there, and is to all of those people that are displaced, that they become shareholders of something. Let them be shareholders, and thus give rise to a shareholder economy. Now, is that the worst thing that could happen? You know, where a majority of a population is invested in a shareholding type of dynamic, and everyone is up to their whims and discretion to invest as they seem fit, but with a little head start. There's a solution there. Because I also imagine that you're gonna have a company like Uber also adapting this whole self-driving mentality. Why not give your drivers a share of the company? If you're gonna be displacing their work and giving it to robots, why not make them shareholders? And thus creating a shareholder economy. Why not? Why not let the average Joe be a shareholder? I mean, we have the choice now, but let me tell you, when that displacement of transportation workers come, the estimates I saw last year were somewhere around 25% of the working population work in the transportation industry. That's 25% of the population without an income. Okay, so the shareholder economy is one side of it. Now, let me say more. What about an indefinite push for universal basic income? Let that illusion of the trickle-down capitalism economics be somewhat true now, especially now that we can create money out of thin air. It doesn't have to be printed. It doesn't have to be backed by anything. We just make money. We just dump money. Why must the top 0.1% be the only benefactors of this ludicrous printing of money? Why not allow the population a basic universal income? There's more than imaginary money for everyone. So that's my solution. A push for basic universal income and a shareholder economy. Where on the one hand, if you're born in a certain country, that country tells you, congratulations son, welcome to the world, here's your basic income. And by the way, your parents were misplaced out of work, and therefore they're shareholders, and they're also recipients of the basic universal income. Have a nice life. Why? Because we have the power and the means to produce infinite amounts of money out of nothing. Because we live in a society where money and the value of money is 100% imaginary, but only a few people are benefactors of this reality. Why not extend that reality to other people with the illusion of trickle-down economics like it was first theorized hundreds of years ago under the theory of capitalism? And if I get ranty, I apologize, but that's what happens when I go off in a monologue with zero real-time interaction. And if that sounds ludicrous, then you're ludicrous, because the printing of money is happening. And only a select few are enjoying the benefits of infinite printing. And all I'm saying is, I'm not trying to instigate some revolution or anything. I'm just saying, okay, if you get to make billions for yourself, how about a couple of grand for the average Joe? indefinitely. Because the displacement of work is real and it's going to continue, and it's not going to come in little bits. It's going to come in waves. First, it will be the transportation system, the transportation industry. Then what? The automation of what? What's next? Office work, that's already halfway there. Has anyone heard of Watson? Watson is a robot. It's computer software taking over office jobs in Japan and elsewhere in the world. The displacement of work is very real. And let me tell you something. If you think you're safe because you're some teacher and people like the human aspect, guess what? In a matter, like, it's already happening. More and more people are turning away from traditional education systems, and they're turning to DIY solutions, where the solutions can be found for free on manuals and on YouTube channels and all sorts of resources on the internet for free. And let me tell you, if you're not shocked yet, I want you to Google someone like Viajesa. Viajesa is a YouTuber. He's a 19-year-old kid with no college education. And guess where he got all of his information and knowledge? He got it in YouTube. And the kid, a 19-year-old kid, is already a millionaire with successful Shopify stores, a successful YouTube channel, a successful day trader. And he didn't have to spend a dime on the traditional education system. And I go into this rant all the time with those closest to me. If I ever have a child, which I don't think I will, but if I ever did, or if I could give advice to any young cousins or anyone out there, let me tell you something. Don't spend your money going to school. Don't spend your time going to school on some degree that was gonna put you and your family most likely in debt, only to try apply for work and be denied because you don't have 10 years experience for an entry-level job. That's the reality everyone's coming to. It's like, wait, I paid 200 grand for a degree that cannot get me a job. Now I gotta get a job that I cannot get to pay my debt. And so the cycle of poverty continues. So, things are changing. Don't go to school. Go to high school. I mean, at least you get to hang out with people. But by no means do I suggest to anyone to go and seek a college education, because that is one of the biggest wastes of time and money that you will make in your life. Why pay for YouTube videos when YouTube videos are free? Especially now when all of the education is done online and will continue to be so. The time is ripe to let go of those old archaic systems that no longer serve, aka post-secondary educational institutions. They just want your money, and if they're being publicly traded, they are. Okay? And if they're not, they wish they were, because it's a business. And I'm telling you, it's a blood-sucking business that's just gonna steal your time and money. We're in no shortage of engineers. We're in no shortage of finance majors. Which, by the way, it's like, what are you good for? You know, like, I get better advice off of YouTube than any financial analyst with a PhD in whatever. Unless Kathy Wood is like one of those. Then, okay. If you're gonna be in the next Kathy Wood and then you need a master's or some shit, okay, go ahead. But if you're gonna be the next run-of-the-mill financial analyst, let me tell you something. Just drop out of school right now and watch a few YouTube videos on where to invest your stocks, and soon enough you'll be deep inside the rabbit hole making good money. Alright, so I'm still adding a lot of geometry here because I need this to be really stretchy. You know, and if you want to get deep into whatever, philosophy, whatever, let me tell you something. You can find all those books online. And your point of view might even be more pure if you just avoid the academic narrative. Let me tell you, the academic narrative is one of the most toxic environments you can put yourself in. And a lot of times it's useless too. You know? Am I bitter? Am I biased in my point of view in regards to education? Most likely, yes. Was it wasteful? Most likely, yes. You know, and let me tell you something. Greatness did not come from the people fucking going to school, man. Greatness always came from the fucking dropouts anyways. Talk to any school about their best people. They were all dropouts. Whether that's music or technology or business, the best people were freaking dropouts. And let me tell you something else. I've met plenty of people, rich people, really rich people, that don't even have high school. They don't even have high school. And yet they're a lot more rich than people with PhDs and all that other bullshit. If that doesn't open your eyes, I don't know what will. School is a false safety net and a false promise to a better life. Let me tell you that much. Because there is nothing you cannot learn outside of a school environment. You can learn everything by yourself. Just turn on the computer and Google search. Google search your way to infinity and you will find it. Alright, so it looks like I gotta add a little more subdivision here. You know what the greatest advice I heard when I was in school? Google it. And this is at a master's level degree course. And every time, the greatest advice I ever got was Google it. Google it. Google it. So I'm telling you now, the greatest advice a master's degree person, as someone holding a master's degree, the greatest advice I can give you is to Google it. That's it. That's the greatest advice in life anyone can give you. Google it. You don't need school. You don't need a 9 to 5. Well, maybe you do need a 9 to 5. But you know, it's like, it's not the only way to make a good living. And it's definitely not the way to get rich. Let me tell you that much. You will not get rich working a 9 to 5. In many ways, you will not be happy working a 9 to 5. And that's why myself, even if the contracts are sometimes a little sporadic, guess what? I'd rather do contract work. I would rather do gig work, contract work, 100% more than any full-time job. Because once you're in the workplace, you're stuck with the same people all the time, and guess what? Some of those people are not going to like you no matter what. But if you're doing contract work, if you're here, if you're there, if you don't like or someone doesn't like you, guess what? You don't have to deal with that person again for months or years or days or sometimes in your whole life, only once. And that is a definite plus. Alright, so that got really fucky. Okay, so there. And it all comes back down to you are what you do. And it's not what you do once in a while or once a week, it's what you do every day. And let me tell you, the academic way is the way of resistance. Let me tell you, it's the way of resistance where you say, well, I cannot have the life I want unless I spend 4 years, maybe more of my life in a post-secondary education. And then I will be able to apply for the job that will give me the life I want. Let me tell you, that's a lot of resistance. That's a lot of limits you're putting on yourself to get the life you want right now. Well, that one looks fucky. My God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I wasn't joking when I said I was going to be weight painting for a month, man. And I can tell from experience, man. The last 2 T4s that I made for myself, and I started, you know, kind of doing the whole freelance and contract work thing, is the exact same income that I'd be getting paid if I work full time for some crap company, full time. It's the same amount. The only difference is that I have months, entire months, completely free for me to do whatever I want. Full-time work is not the solution. Let me tell you that right now. And I hope I'm at least offering a different perspective, because, you know, there isn't much value of watching me struggle and get angry at this weight painting process. But hopefully my rants can show you the way on what and what not to do. And I hope that can be valuable to someone, or at the very least to my algorithm, so that I can get some more interesting video suggestions tomorrow morning. Okay, I need to add more subdivisions here, and I keep looking for faces that no longer serve. And again, the reason I'm doing so much subdivision in the crotch area is because I want to be able to this. Maybe I'm going too far. Like, I want to see if I can do some basic yoga poses wearing a VR headset. You know, again, the whole purpose of this thing I'm doing here is to enable full body tracking on my avatar for a virtual project. If you've seen any of the stuff I've done, I'm doing a virtual reality project, and I'm working my way towards full body tracking with my own intellectual property here. This is a model that I've made from scratch, something that I can confidently say is mine and mine own, and it's not something I downloaded off of the internet, because I wanted my avatar to do certain things that avatars made by other people simply don't do, because that's the thing, they don't do it. And I don't, in terms of functionality, I can compare the functionality of my model to a Hatsune Miku, because when I did a lot of the facial animations, I took the Hatsune, I ended up downloading an original Japanese 3D model made by the makers of Hatsune Miku, and I based a lot of her facial expression and animation based on that Hatsune Miku model. But all the 3D modeling and all the programming and weight painting and physics engine that I've added to this girl, it's entirely my own invention, and for whatever it's worth, you know. So that's the only reason why I am here continuously weight painting and ranting and filling that space. And again, I feel like those triangles are gonna bite me in the ass, so I'm gonna try and fix them in a moment here. And there's an extra vertex there. And I'm not tired yet, and I think I've been streaming for quite a while now. Yeah, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, and I've been working on the weight painting and the polygon making for at least 4 hours today. And I'm content with that. It's not so much, it's not how much I'm doing a day. Obviously, if I'm trying to, I guess I am training myself to be able to do this longer and longer. But if I do put in 4 hours of work into this project every day, I can wake up tomorrow morning without any regrets and knowing that I did the best damn I could for a day, or at very least fulfilled the minimum requirements for progress in what I consider my existence. Alright, so, oh no, there's this thing here. Okay. So I've added all the subdivisions I wanted. Nope, there's more there. There's always more. I really hope this is the last bit of it. I was hoping that I would be able to make a video showing or a stream showing myself importing the updated model into my VR environment, but that's obviously not going to happen today and most likely not going to happen tomorrow. Now, was that a self-fulfilling prophecy or a realistic fact? That will be determined tomorrow. And by the way, if you haven't tried face palming, it is one of the most rewarding feelings you will ever get. Okay, so between this one and this one, I gotta add one more. Oops. I think I'm just gonna finish adding geometry here to the leg, and I will continue weight painting offline, and that's about it. That's about all I can say. You are what you do every day. You are not what other people say you are. You are not what other people think you are. You are not what you think of yourself. You are what you do. And you are not what you do sometimes. You're not what you do once in a while. You are what you do every day. I'm gonna throw in a little. No, it's gonna look awful. Let's fucking subdivide this shit again. just gotta add a little more subdivision to the back, yeah. And I'll be almost ready to go. Call it a day for the stream. And yeah, you know what? God bless are the people that get paid to do what they do every day. Right? There's also those people. Don't be a donkey, don't be a donkey, don't be a donkey. Okay, so we'll double check for some wrong faces here. Just double checking here, making sure I got individual faces and not overlapping faces, because that would be sad, like this one here. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? And then we're gonna continue looking for more bad faces. But I think that should be it. Let's see here. Oh, that one there. Okay, so all of these ones here. Let's delete that face. And there's a face under that. Nope. And this face. That face. Oh, don't delete like that, or you're gonna end up with no face at all. And we gotta fill it in. Over here. It ain't easy being this cool, you know. Don't be a donkey, don't be a donkey.
I just want to get rid of all the extra faces I don't need, or they're gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. Okay, here we want to subdivide again. No. Okay, I'm just going to delete the faces I don't need. Let me see if I find any more. This is my QA, my quality assurance, and I think there's that one. That's good enough. Anyway, so that's going to be for this stream. I want to thank you for watching another stream of VR Stocks and Beats, and hopefully you learned something. If you didn't, then it's your fault. Bye now.